Hello, everyone. I'm Cheldin Barlatt Rumer, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. I have a lovely guest for all of you. I'd love for her to introduce herself, her first and last name, and the name of her business.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Erica Desper, and my business is Confident Parenting.
Okay, well then, I'm a parent. I don't know how confident I am on a regular basis, but I'd love to dive in with you to learn more about what you do. Fill me in.
Sure. So the bulk of what I do is help parents understand sleep in their newborn, their baby, their toddler, even their older child, how it works, why it isn't working, steps you can take to make it work more smoothly. I also help families with potty training. So basically anything you feel terrified to tackle, I'm here to help you create a plan to tackle it and then walk with you as you tackle it. I also have founded, though, a village of other parenting resources because I am only the expert on certain things, but not everything. So I've kind of brought everyone together in one place. So really anything parents need support with or don't feel confident about, they can find someone that can be by their side.
Oh, I love that. So out of the 365 days a year, like you cover all 364 of them. So that's really
pretty much. Or I know someone who can.
Right, exactly. I think that that's wonderful. I mean, we always say in the show, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so always with good intention, you can even read as many books, but unique experiences lie in each family, and being able to kind of tackle those head on. My daughter is 9 and my son is 2. I mean, I can't. So I cover the I'm a fool. I cover the gamut. And so my son, potty training, no potty. Like no potty. I don't want no potty. Like that's what I'm going through now. So we're gonna have to have an offline conversation about getting Chase on the potty. But do you find that even if you're dealing with the same issue, potty training or sleep, they're unique to the parent that you're talking to and the household that you're talking with?
It really is. There's so many variables. There's the dynamic between both partners and between the parent and the child and caregivers that factor into the mix. So I'm always covering similar concepts and strategies with parents that sort of helping them tailor it to their situation and their child's temperament and then what they feel comfortable with and can be consistent with, which is definitely different from family to family.
Oh, I love this. I love this. I can wrap my mind around the potty training and the variations and the hardship as it relates to that. But I'd like to also deep dive into the sleep scenario. So oftentimes, you know that with the newborn, but I love that you are even addressing it in children that are slightly older and as they get older and their sleep patterns. You know, if you could dive into that a little bit for me too, because the sleep pattern of a child really affects the whole entire house.
It really does. If a family's not sleeping well, it's going to sort of spread out into other areas of their family life. So usually when I'm helping them address sleep, something else is improving also, which is really nice to see, or something else is suffering. Also, however you want to look at that. So, newborns are newborns. We can set up healthy habits, but we kind of just have to get through that phase. Some of them will magically just fall into organized patterns, and you're the lucky parents if you have that.
Yep.
But a lot of us continue to rely on the assistance our newborn needed, rocking to sleep, feeding to sleep, letting them sleep on us, pulling them into our bed. None of which are wrong in and of themselves, but as the brain gets further along and the patterns become more mature, it can start to cause a lot of habits that parents can't sustain, like a night waking habit, short naps, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and not returning to sleep. So you'd think that it gets easier as they get older, but it doesn't. And even the best of sleepers, there are a lot of transitions in life. So entering daycare or school, switching from a crib to a bed, potty training, all of those things where they could have been sleeping great, and all of a sudden it seems like they've forgotten how to do that. And recently with the pandemic, even school-age children have been struggling with sleep because they're stressed, and that's where they're acting like they're fine, and then it's showing up in the fact that they're not sleeping well, and parents aren't sure what to do about it. So it really can span all the ages, and it's never too late to address or improve sleep patterns.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I think it's so necessary. I mean, especially with the pandemic and the quarantine, I think that, you're a little lax because they don't have to get up necessarily to go to school. So they're sleeping a little bit later, they're sleeping in a little bit longer. And it just becomes, them just overall being outside of their routine. And I can see that being an overarching issue. Let's talk about how people work with you, because I think that that's a really interesting thing to dive into. Knowing that you need help is one thing, and then, kind of navigating, how will this work? So let's just say, for instance, we're dealing with the potty training in this space, traditional times, or even in this quarantine type of time frame, this new normal. How would you work with a family to help them through it? Is it sessions? Are you meeting with them, consultations?
Generally, we have to start with at least one long session, which is a 90-minute consultation. Sometimes that's in home, although it doesn't really make a difference. We can accomplish everything virtually or by phone. So parents are deciding that based on under normal circumstances, based on their proximity, also their budget. Obviously, if we want to keep costs down, meeting via phone or virtually is going to be a little bit more cost effective. Some parents choose just to create a plan together, and they feel confident to take that and implement it on their own. Other parents know they're going to need a little bit more support along the way, or they have a child that's a little more challenging. So there is a 4-week package option as well for sleep, 2 weeks for potty, where we stay in daily contact as they're implementing it. So questions are getting answered as they're popping up, weekly phone call check-ins. I even have my families use a tracking app where they're really entering what's happening as it's happening or after it has, and I can check in and see what happens and say, I would have done this differently, or next time let's try that. And then the great benefit is once I know the family, the child, and they're established with me, they can come back anytime through the lifespan and just tack onto that in bits and pieces and get some more support.
Wow. I mean, the use of technology in a time where things, in a traditional or non-traditional sense, again, a lot of these families feel as if their journey is unique to them, and they feel as if they're alone in this space. And oftentimes, if you're having a hard time potty training and the child is of a certain age, talking to your girlfriend, talking to your mother, talking to your mother-in-law, might not necessarily be the most comfortable thing, but to have not only somebody to hold your hand, but also some technology support there on a daily basis. So wonderful. Absolutely so wonderful. Do you find that the length of time, you mentioned 2 weeks for potty and then 4 weeks, give or take, for the sleep, does it vary, or do you kind of stick to a regimen based on,
It can vary. Some families end up with a little more support than they need. However, I think that's a good thing because we can make sure that it sticks. They don't leave and then all of a sudden it falls apart again. And I really like to have time with my families to look ahead to the future. We got to your happy place, but how do we stay there? They're going to teeth and they're going to get sick and they're going to go to school and daycare and all of the, you're going to take trips maybe at some point if that becomes a thing again. So how do you maintain these healthy habits and not fall off, the wagon when all those things come? So even if they don't necessarily need the full timeline for the current issue, I think we can utilize it in ways that are really valuable.
I absolutely love this. This is it making me so, so happy. The other thing that I noted in what it is that you said, you constantly use the word family. You're not focused solely on the child or solely on the parent. It seems like a group effort. Is that right?
For sure. Generally, everyone's suffering if a child isn't sleeping. And it's often impacting siblings who are good sleepers, but they're being disrupted by someone who isn't. They're not getting the one-on-one time that they normally get with their parent because the parent is spending so much energy on, the squeaky wheel, so to speak. So the repercussions, it's kind of a ripple effect. But then when we improve things, everybody benefits. And it is really throughout the whole family.
Oh, I'm hanging on every word. I'm so excited, maybe selfishly because my son is 2 and hates the potty, but but at the same time, I find this completely valuable and just an opportunity for families out there to work together with a professional to be able to take their family into a better place. And I absolutely love the time that I've spent with you. If people want to get in touch with you, if they want to follow, fan, and like you, where would they find that information?
Yes. So my website is beaconfidentparent.com. I'm also at Be a Confident Parent on Instagram and Confident Parenting on Facebook.
No excuse. There's no excuse. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to deal with it one more day. There is someone who can be in your corner. Thanks again for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, guys. Now you have all the information that you need. Contact my new friend and get yourself on the right track. I'm so excited we were able to introduce her to all of you. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Cheldin Barlatt Rumer, and we will see you soon. Take care.